And we're live. Hi, guys. So today we're here to discuss Last Sacrifice by Richelle Mead. This is the very last book of the Vampire Academy series. And I cannot believe we're coming to an end of the series. Like, it's been 6 months. This is the sixth book we have finished, which is really crazy. So, of course, right now we're just going to do some basic introduction. So, of course, oh, what was that? I'm so sorry about that. That was a glitch. But basically, we're going to, say our names, say our like channel, our username, and then first time reading the book or like a reread. Obviously, this is like a reread for everyone. And then your thoughts on this book, spoiler free, of course. And then we can also do ranking because now that we have finished the entire series, if you're like watching this live show, please put down your ranking on the live chat because obviously like Sandy, Tiffany, and I we're going to do our ranking. So yeah, just like your name, your second time or third time rereading this book, thoughts on this book, spoiler free, and then your ranking. So Sandy, you go first.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Sandy from the channel Sandy Reads a Lot, and this is my second time reading The Last Sacrifice. I enjoyed it, but there were definitely things that Rose did in the book and the whole romance overall that I wasn't a huge fan of. And in terms of my ranking, I actually changed my ranking like a few seconds before the live show started.
Yeah.
Just because like the bottom three is just like they're hard to rank and like all the books kind of just blend together. But I am for sure like my definitive number one favorite book in the series is Shadow Kiss, which is the third book.
Okay.
I just really loved how action packed that was and seeing kind of like the direction of the story turning at the very end of that. My second favorite is Spirit Bound. Third is Frostbite. Fourth, Blood Promise. Fifth, Last Sacrifice. And then sixth, Vampire Academy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just hard. I don't know. I just like, yeah, it was really hard. Like, I really enjoyed Vampire Academy, but it was just like, the introduction to the world. And like in the other books, the world just expands and gets more complex. And I just really appreciated that more.
Yeah. Wait, so you said Shadow Kiss is number one.
Number one.
The second one?
Spirit Bound.
Yeah, so yeah, third one is what?
Frostbite.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then fourth was Blood Promise.
Blood Promise.
I'm surprised Last Sacrifice is like at the bottom and then Vampire Academy like the very last.
Okay. With Last Sacrifice, I realized it took me the longest to read out of all the books this whole year. And I don't know, I just really hated the romance. I just did not like it. And when I first read the series, I loved the romance. I loved Rose and Dimitri. But now I'm just like, I really don't care about them at all.
I get that. I do.
It's like, I can't stand Rose.
Yeah. Okay, Tiffany, your turn.
Hello, I'm Tiffany at Read by Tiffany. Okay, I'm going to go from worst to best because I'm looking at my books right now and I'm trying to think. And I think it's easier for me to say like the ones I don't like as much. And then the top ones are like mixed together. So I feel like I'm the opposite of you, Sandy. But my least favorite is Vampire Academy just because like it's good introduction, but I felt like it was literally just an introduction. There's so much more to the series. And then Blood Promise because I just did not really love Rose and Dimitri in Russia.
Yeah.
And then probably Last Sacrifice. And then Shadow Kiss, Spirit Bound, Frostbite. Spirit Bound and Frostbite are probably tied for my top.
Okay, got it. Fifth and second. Okay. Wow, yeah. Everyone's ranking is very different. Yes, but real quick, Sandy's hair is gorgeous.
Thanks.
It looks good. We were literally just talking about this right before the show started.
I was like, hold up. Is that new hair? Oh my God, it looks so good.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay. Oh wait, Sandy, what's your rating on Last Sacrifice?
I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay. Tiffany, 4?
4. First time was like a 5. Now I'm just like a 4.
Yeah, okay. What is up with my throat? Oh my God. I keep like, hi guys. Oh yeah, this is my channel, Trin. I'm Trin. Hey. I'm so flustered right now. This is my second time reading this book, and then my thoughts on this book, spoiler free. I loved it. Like way more than I thought. Like I was like, yo, I'm having so much fun. Real quick, I'm still am in a reading slump. I only read 3 books in June. Oh my God. In June. This is the third book. This was like And then out of the 3 books that I read in June, this was like the one that I really, really enjoyed. Like I just had so much fun. And I listened to the audiobook. The audiobook is actually really good. So like when I listened to the audiobook, I would play Animal Crossing. And I just like I had a lot of fun. So I think that's why I have like good memories with this book when it comes to my reread. So, and here's the thing. In the previous live show, I have bashed on Rose so much. And my opinion on her is just so low. And it's like, it's going to be really low, just so you know. So now that I'm like, yeah, this is who Rose is, whatever. When I read this book, whenever she does something that pisses me off, I'm just like, it's okay. This is just who she is. Like, I'm not super mad. Like, comparing to like my anger towards her with this book and Spirit Bound was like a whole other level because I did not remember a lot of things in Spirit Bound. But with this one, since I'm like, I don't like Rose, I just have to come to the conclusion that Rose is not my favorite character. And once I have come to that conclusion, I just enjoy this book for what it is. Like, yeah, she pissed me off, but it's like, okay, but like, this is something new. Keep on reading this book. I just enjoy so much because there's so much happening in this book regarding stuff. So I just enjoy this book. So that's my thoughts on this book. And now for my ranking. Okay. Number 1, Last Sacrifice. Surprisingly. Number 2 is Spirit Bound. Number 3 is Shadow Kiss. Number 4 is Vampire Academy. Number 5 is Blood Promise, and then number 6 is Frostbite. Because I just remember, I know. It's just like with Frostbite, the only thing that I truly love is like the ending with like, it's just like, wait, let me rephrase that. I love it because it's just emotional. But like Rose like pissed me off in Frostbite.
That's true. That's true.
There's nothing new. I feel like Rose just pissed me off like in a lot of books. So yeah, surprisingly, my number 1 favorite is this book, the very last one. I just enjoyed so much more. So I want to see like everyone's like comments. We love forgiving the main character. Do I forgive her?
Like, it's more of like you have no expectations now.
It's like you tolerate her now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yep. I just think it's so weird though. Like growing up, I loved Rose as a character. I was like, she can do no wrong. She's great. Like I want to be like her. And now I'm just like, oh my God, I can't stand her.
I think it's part of growing up because I feel like, I mean, I know that from my experience, when I first read these books, I was in high school. I was like 17. I'm 23 now. I'm older. So it's been 6 years. I've grown a lot. And like my tolerance for people are so low now. And then she just pissed me off so much to the point where I'm like it's the 6th book. This, yeah, like she's just the kind of character who makes mistakes a lot. And it's to the point where I'm like, you're hurting other characters. And I'm very mad at you for that. Okay. Shadow Kiss, Spirit Bound, Frostbite, Last Sacrifice, Blood Promise. I feel like this ranking is similar to Sandy.
Yeah, it's similar.
This would be
mine.
like, yeah.
I really enjoy Shadow Kiss as well, but I don't know. I went with Last Sacrifice as number 1 because this is the only book I gave 5 out of 5 stars. With the others, it's like 4.5. But this one was like, yeah, this is straight up 5. And in my Goodreads review, I literally said my opinions on Rose is so low, but like let's ignore Rose and just enjoy everything else because honestly, this was a lot of fun. So I think that's why I really enjoyed this book. Okay, is that it for the introduction? Like just let us know your favorite book in like the live chat. I would love to know. We would all love to know because like we're at the end now. We can just discuss this entire series as an entire as like its own thing. And then of course we're just gonna discuss this book right now. Let me see, Leo. My favorite is probably Shadow Kiss. Yeah, I get that. Blood Promise is like, I feel like it's just a lot. Like with Rose and Dimitri, I don't know. I feel like it was just not as fun as the other books. So there's that. Okay, so now we can jump into the spoiler section for Last Sacrifice. This is the very last book. So if you have not read this book, then please leave the live show because now we're just going to go in depth with everything in here. And then also we can just like, discuss the previous books a little bit if like we want to because like this is the final book. So there's that, okay? If you have not read this book, like I said, please leave the live show because we're going to go in depth with everything. So I have like a list of things that we can discuss. What would you like to discuss first? Because here's the thing. Okay, now I'm going to jump into a spoiler. A lot of things happen. First of all, Tatiana, her murder, who killed her. We can talk about that. Or we can talk about Lissa's sister. We can also talk about that. We can also talk about Sonia because she's back.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Sonia. I love her. I really enjoy Sonia. So yeah.
I think like her reunion with Mikhail was like one. I like highlighted it because I was reading on my ebook, and then I like had it highlighted from the last time I read it, and then I went back and I was like, yes, this part hits.
It's so beautiful. I think I was texting Sandy, and I think I talk about like I was like, "Yo, Sonia coming back." I don't remember that like at all.
Yeah, and I love how like the fact that we hear about Sonia all throughout the series, but we never see her in person until this final book. And I just love kind of like the full circle of everything.
Yeah.
I noticed that while I was reading this time. I think it was more of like so many things come full circle. Like Richelle Mead does such a good job of foreshadowing and like bringing things back. And I like so the next series is Bloodlines, right? And there was a lot of like surprisingly a lot of like foreshadowing for Bloodlines in Last Sacrifice. And I think during the time when Last Sacrifice was published, we didn't know that Bloodlines was a thing.
Oh, okay.
So then it was really nice. It was really cool to see the foreshadowing.
Okay. I was gonna ask when it comes to like the foreshadowing of the next series, is it towards the end, Tiffany? Okay.
Should I just say it? It's like not a big spoiler. It's just like what it's gonna be about, I think.
Yeah. I don't say it. I feel like mostly like so we can just like read the next book and just like be surprised, I guess. But I definitely know what you're talking about. Yeah, I really like Sonia in here. Like as I was reading this book, I was like, wow, she's pretty great, to be honest. She's very supportive. She's nice. I do feel bad for her, obviously, because of what she went through. I was just shocked that Robert brought her back. Like that. Let me trying to remember leading up to it. So like Rose, Dimitri, and Sydney, yeah, they found out that Sonia is like related to Emily Mastrano, and then what happened? Oh my god! And then Rose was like, "Okay, fine, we're gonna come here." Victor was like, "Okay, fine, we'll be here." I think Rose said something along the line of like, "I mean, what are you gonna do to help us?" And like Victor and Robert like brought her back from being a Strigoi. I was just like, I really didn't remember that, like her like coming back from being Strigoi. I was really shocked because I was listening to the audiobook and I was like sitting there like, oh my god, is this really happening? Like, is this really happening? Is Robert gonna turn her back? And yeah, she was turned back. So yeah, it's nice to like see Sonia, to be honest. She's nice. I forgot that she was like a teacher for Rose, right? She was Rose teacher once upon a time. I really like Sonia. Let me see. One of my fave scenes, it was just meeting Sonia Strigoi and seeing her change. Yeah, I was shocked. I love Sonia. She has so much depth, and I love how Richelle Mead. Yeah, I see it too. So Sonia, that was a thing. What else should we talk about? Should we talk about Jill?
Let's talk about Victor and Robert.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about Victor and Robert. I was like, I don't know. Like, there's just so much to talk about. Yeah, Tiffany.
Part of me was just okay. Like you were saying that, like I can't believe Robert brought her back. I felt so bad for Rob. Like I don't like Victor dying was something I did not remember at all. But I just felt so bad for Robert after because like he lost his bond person and now he lost his brother. Yeah. But then part of me is like also thinking I feel like Victor was honestly kind of using his brother. Like he loved his brother to an extent. Yeah. But even just like knowing the sacrifice it takes to bring someone back, and then like. Victor could have just like had a nice peaceful life with his brother after escaping prison, but he still wanted to like get more power and control people, and that's what led to his death.
Yeah, his death was actually like I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere, but like how he just passed away was like really sad because like
I had to like double check it happened.
Yeah, like Rose like hit his head, like I think she was kind of choked. I don't know, but like his head literally hit the asphalt, and he just. Die. And I got scared because it's like, dang, that sucks. And then like, you can have to remember Victor is very old, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how old he is, but like an old person dying like that like just sucks and it hurts. And then like and then Robert trying to bring him back,
Yeah.
Like, for a quick minute, I didn't even like that was also shocking because like Sonia was like, Dimitri, get Robert away from here. And I was just like, why? And then like we learned that he's literally trying to bring his own brother back from the dead, which is scary, not a good thing, obviously. And then I also feel bad for him because eventually Dimitri just like put him somewhere else, like put Robert somewhere else. So then like I was like, but like this man is literally he's mentally unstable. You cannot do that. That's just mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just felt so bad for Robert throughout all of that.
Yeah, and then like also like you said, Victor kind of using him. Like let's face it, like I think Robert would be just fine if he just like go back to his home and just like relax and chill. But no, he has to go like all over the country to find Rose, and then like, you know, I don't. I feel like I don't really know how old Robert is, but I have a feeling he's like the same age as Victor, and they're both like old men. I just want to know like because like I know that the show is coming up. I do want to see the casting of Victor and his brother. That'd be interesting because it's like because then I get to see how old they look like visually.
Well,
because it's
do you
hard.
remember the movie though? Like the guy who
Yeah.
plays Victor, he's old.
Yeah, he's old and sickly, and yeah, I feel bad to be honest. And like it's interesting seeing Rose being remorseful. We can also talk about that, like Rose feeling so much guilt after she killed Victor, because I believe she killed him because like there was like darkness inside her, and then she just snapped.
Yeah, like to protect Lissa, I think.
Yeah. And then what's interesting is that leading up to that scene, so like we have a Damper killing a Moroi. Before that, we have Eddie killing a Moroi. So there's like an interesting discussion of like Damper killing Moroi and how that's literally forbidden. Like even if the Moroi is like bad people, like those people are like because like we have that guy who's like trying to attack Lissa, and then we have Victor who's doing a lot of this horrible shit. At the end of the day, their status as a Moroi is more important than like their crimes, which is interesting because like the Dampers are like, I'm trying to protect these other people, but like the other people are like, okay, but you still kill Moroi. You're a Damper and you kill Moroi, so therefore you suck. That whole thing was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Bruno. Like, I think, like, I totally get the conversation that I need to move the plot along for Rose to forgive herself, but like, she was so okay after like her brief, being super emo time.
Yeah, because like after that whole thing, something good happened for her. I don't want to talk about it. Not yet. I don't want to talk about it. This book, yeah. I was like, where's my boy Eddie? He was barely in this book. And when he gets in trouble. I was actually kind of disappointed with Eddie's character. Like how
Yeah, honestly, the whole series did Eddie's character so dirty. Like in Frostbite or whatever book it is, when he was the one being fed on. That was Frostbite, right? Yeah, he was the one being fed on, and then like he's the one, you know, getting in trouble after tagging along with Rose and all that. Yeah, I just feel so bad for Eddie.
Oh my god, the previous book, yeah, I'm still mad at Rose for that whole thing. But yeah, I feel so bad for Eddie. And then like at the end, there's this like uncertainty that like, can he actually get a good job? Can he get a good posting? Can he get like a good Moroi to protect? We don't know because his reputation is literally up in the air because like he killed a Moroi. Again, not his fault. He was protecting Lissa. Yeah, I feel bad for him. I do. Let me see. I was happy. Yeah, me too.
Like I love seeing the scenes of Lissa doing the trials to be queen more than like anything with Rose.
Really, I think I enjoy the adventure, but then I also like the fact that we get to see the trial and like what's going on back at court because there's so much that happened back at court. Like obviously like Lissa was just like denouncing Rose to pretend that like she's, you know, like she's like, no, I don't like Rose. She's not my friend anymore. But in reality, like she is still Rose's best friend and trying to help her. I guess we can just say who killed Tatiana. Tasha. We can talk about that. Tasha Ozera was the one who killed the queen. I will say she's a horrible murderer. Because like this woman straight up killed the queen for something that she disagreed on, but turns out the queen was doing that as like a distraction tactic to prevent Moroi using compulsion on all dampers. You know, like that whole thing. And then like I think the queen was like for Moroi fighting because she had like a secret group of people like learning how to fight. And Tasha was like shocked. She was like, "Shit, I killed her when I shouldn't have killed her." I think. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, for the people who read this book for the first time, were you shocked that Tasha was what you call it,
The
the
murderer.
basically? And then also, I would love to know your theories on who the killer is, because like even our own main characters have so many theories on like who the killer is. Like we have Adrian's mom. Who else? I think that's about it. Like Adrian's
Ambrose a little bit.
Ambrose, yeah.
Blake.
Yeah, a little bit. And then like whoever Ambrose is like messing with, because like there was like a theory that this is about jealousy, not political, but then turns out it is like about politics. There was like a whole thing. It was like so messy because like this book is like really long, and we spend a lot of time just being like, who is the killer? Is it this person? Is it this person? So I want to know, like Sandy and Tiffany, when you read these books for the first time, were you shocked to learn that it was Tasha?
I was definitely shocked because I didn't really get the impression that like, and like even when rereading this book, I knew Tasha was the killer, but I was like trying to see like was there any sort of like subtle hints that it was Tasha? I don't know. I didn't really pick up on anything the second time
Yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it was really setting it up for it to be Daniela, like
Yeah.
Adrian's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember my reaction the first time I read this, like if I was shocked to learn that it was Tasha who killed the queen. But I feel like with this reread, I noticed little things. Like whenever like she's mentioned, I really pay attention to it. Like I think like the part where like she learns that the queen was all for Moroi learning how to fight. She was really shocked. So like I noticed that.
Mhm.
And then I noticed that she was the one who nominated Lissa.
Oh, okay. One
Yeah.
thing that I did notice was that like every time Tasha was in a scene, she's like seeming like, oh, like she confidently believes that Rose isn't the one that did it. So I was like, obviously you're the one that framed Rose, you know? So like, yeah, so like that's something that I noticed. But in terms of like, oh, like, is there any hints that it could have been Tasha? Like I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I also noticed that like I didn't realize she wasn't in on the plan of Rose's escape.
Yeah.
So I remember there was like a little conversation of her being like surprised that it happened, but then they were just like, "Oh, we couldn't include you because we couldn't have too many people in the plan." But like,
so that was a
yeah.
good thing, because like if she was in the plan, she would have sabotaged the entire thing. But then I will say, like, I think it's interesting that like not a lot of people see it coming. It kind of means that she covers her track really well, like for the readers and then for the main characters as well. Because like it took Rose to figure it out, and not other people. Like even Lissa was like, it's probably Adrian's mom, but like what you call it, Rose was like, no, it's Tasha. It turns out, yeah, it's Tiffany.
That's because there was so much trust in Tasha. Like he's literally like basically Christian's de facto mom.
Yeah, I think that makes it really sad. Like I'm so sad for Christian, because I really
especially like his parents and now Tasha, like,
and
so
now I wonder if this will be addressed, but the Ozera family, their reputation is so bad now. Like, and then also you have to take into consideration like Christian is like he's gonna be with Lissa, and she's the
like he's gonna be king. Like theoretically, because Lissa's queen.
Oh, poor boy. He's gonna get so much shit because of his family's reputation. That's why I'm like, this sucks because of his parents, and now his aunt is a murderer of the queen. So I'm gonna let me see. Yeah, everyone's like shocked. I remember that Tasha was killer because I was so. Yeah, I definitely remember it was Tasha. When before I reread this for this live show, I was like, yeah, I knew it was Tasha. But then like the whole time I was just like, how was she able to pull it off? Like I was very curious about that because she covered her track so well. Christian's life is so tragic. Christian has Yeah, I feel bad. So I was, yeah, I think first time I was pretty shocked with Tasha. With this reread, I definitely pay attention to it, definitely. And then also, I have to say, her framing on Rose, and the reason is because she wants Dimitri's dick. Why? I cannot get no shade to Dimitri. I've said this already. I like Dimitri as a character. The problem is I it's just hard to appreciate him as his own character when a lot of times he's Rose's boyfriend, Rose's ex-boyfriend, Rose's mentor, like all this stuff. So it's hard to like him as a character. And the fact that there are two women in this series who love him this much. One cheated on her boyfriend for Dimitri. The other killed someone, framed the murder on the other woman for Dimitri. Why? What is going on? So like that was my whole thing. I was like, wow, she framed this on Rose. So Rose can be killed so she can have a shot at Dimitri. I'm not making this up. It's in the book. So why? I mean, like, it's kind of funny, but it's like, how, 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 how it he has to be like beautiful. TV show, you better cast someone so beautiful that like someone is willing to frame a murder on another person for you, that kind of thing. Like, so that's my thing. That's my any comments on the fact that Tasha framed Rose because she wants to have a shot at Dimitri. I'm mad. Yeah. I mean, I would love to know what's your opinion on Dimitri? Because like, he's good, I think. I feel like we barely talk about Dimitri, to be honest, as his own character, and that is very
Yeah,
important.
I like what you said about how like we always see or talk about Dimitri in the context of Rose, and
Mhm.
his relationship with her, but we don't really like know much about him as like an individual character.
Yeah.
You see the comment to this Leah, Dimitri is gonna fly his house.
He's gonna be that's right. I
That's so good.
This is such a good comment. Oh my god, Dimitri exactly. Like his duster. That was like I love that running joke though. Like he loves his duster, that whole thing. But seriously, like they need to cast someone so hot for Dimitri. Like so hot. And what's crazy is that I forgot about this. He's 24. He's our age.
Oh shit.
Wow. I feel really old now. Oh my god.
His personality outside Rose. That's so true.
That is so
and also
true.
like words of wisdom, like his Zen master wisdom things.
Yeah. I will say I listened to the audiobook for Blood Promise and for Last Sacrifice. His accent in the audiobook is actually pretty good. Like it's very Russian, obviously, because he's Russian. But I was like, oh, okay. So like, okay, so imagine this. Let me set up the scene. Someone hot with a Russian accent, with a duster, who reads a lot. So maybe there's a reason why there are two women who love him this much.
Okay, but to be fair, like when I was reading this in middle school and high school, I was like, oh my god, Dimitri's so hot.
But now
like, I get it.
He's old. Older. Actually, no, I don't want to say he's old, because if I'm saying he's old, it means that we're old. We're the same age. Like 23, 24. We're there. I'm not happy about that. But
Yeah. But also like the person that they casted for Dimitri in the Vampire Academy movie just kind of ruined my view of Dimitri. It just like changed everything. Now whenever I like picture Dimitri, I just picture that guy, and I don't love that guy.
But that I will say, because that guy had like long hair, like probably my length of hair. And he could not like pull that off well. Like I looked at photos of him because I remember like when it came out, I was looking at photos of the cast. Him with short hair was so much better looking.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Wait, does Dimitri have long hair in this? I think I do remember like hair, like long hair enough to like have it tied in the back, but that's about it. I could be wrong. Or maybe I'm just like really imagining like, or like I'm envisioning the Dimitri from the movie, because like he had long hair and then he did tie it back in the movie.
Yeah, the movie just was not great.
I'm kind of scared for the TV series, Dimitri, now. Good fan cast for him.
I will say though that
Ooh.
like the writers seem really like into it, so I think they're gonna put a lot of effort into making sure it's the right people.
Yeah. I don't have a fan cast for him. I usually don't do fan cast just because I'm not that creative when it comes to like finding like the perfect actor or actress for like this certain character. I just wait. I will say I like fan art more than fan cast. I don't know. I like fan art. I appreciate art. But when it comes to fan cast, I don't have anyone right now. If anyone thinks like a good actor for Dimitri, let me know so I can like look it up and be like, okay, you're hot enough for Dimitri, I guess. Again, 2 women love him this much. Anyway. Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
so dang, it was he's fine. I don't hate the actor, I guess. But I remember I could be wrong, but wasn't he like 30, the actor movie?
I think so, yeah.
The actor Dimitri. He was like 30. So just like I'm trying to think of an actor around our age. I cannot think of anyone because a lot of actors that I know of are like kind of
I feel like I just aged him up in my head, like his appearance.
Yeah, he probably look older, but he's 24. Ugh, I hate saying that because he's our age and he acts like this anyway. I don't hate him. I don't hate Dimitri. Just so you know, I'm just
I just want a good fan cast for Adrian. Okay, that's what I care about.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Can we talk about Adrian now?
Yeah,
God,
I know Rose and Dimitri. I'm tired of them.
I feel like we talked about Dimitri for like 10 minutes. Sorry about that.
Like the comments, like this entire series did Eddie dirty. I'm like, this entire series did Adrian dirty.
Yeah. This book in particular, I feel so bad for Adrian.
Yeah, like let's just talk straight about it. Like Rose cheats on him, even though they're still. I like forgot that they were still technically together.
Yeah. Because
the way that Rose acts, you just don't like. I just didn't click in my head that they were still boyfriend and girlfriend. But he's just still so loyal and still so much faith in her. And then afterwards, like at the very end, when Rose like talks to him, like Adrian's just so heartbroken. I remember I highlighted something. He was like I trusted you, or it was like it was something along those lines, like you broke me or something like that. Like or it was like I loved you. He screamed something like that. Yeah. And Rose is just like, oh, like you don't balance, like I don't balance you the way that you need to. And it just felt so hurtful all the times where like she knows he's struggling with alcoholism. Yeah. But she just kind of belittles what he's going through. Yeah. Just being like, oh, I'm so disappointed in him. Like, oh, he's drinking again. And it's just so sad for Adrian. And then like even at the end, she's like, oh, it's because like the difference between you and me is that like you're a victim or you see yourself as a victim. It's like, how can you say that? You literally cheated on him. Yeah. I think so like that whole conversation is like page 576 to like the end of that chapter. I will say I want to read this out loud because when I read this, I was just like, you're fucking dumb. No offense, Rose. It's on page 576. It's like towards the top. But this is like just like her narrative. Like she's not talking to anyone. But she was like, damn it, I screwed up. Just because I hadn't cheated on Adrian at court didn't mean that I hadn't cheated on him later. This is what she said. You could phrase it however you want it, but let's face it, sleeping with another guy in a hotel room was pretty much cheating if you had a boyfriend. It didn't matter if that guy was the love of your life or not. When I read that, I was like, you didn't know that before you decided to cheat on your boyfriend with Dimitri? Ma'am, cheating is bad. Are you not aware that cheating is bad? It's just that the fact that she comes to this conclusion after the whole cheating thing, when she's talking to her boyfriend, like, because he's so heartbroken about it, I'm like, wow, my opinion of you, rock bottom, is under the floorboard. It's straight up at the bottom. I was like, I don't know. It's just like, I was so mad. And then like wrong guy. Adrian, when he confronted her, I was like scared a little bit. Not because he's scary, but it's just so devastating. Like, because on page 577, he's like, I love you. He was yelling at her and stuff. Mm-hmm. He says, I love you, and you used me the whole time. And then she said, no, it's not true. I was like, yes, you did.
She totally
she knew it. Like, she would say it.
Yeah.
I was like, you took his money. Or like, you didn't take it. You know, she uses money. she uses him a lot. And also, I do want to point out throughout this book, I definitely noticed snide comments from her. Comments like, "Oh, he's probably passed out with a bottle somewhere."
Yeah.
It happened like 2 or 3 times in this book, and I'm like, "Wow, you really don't have a high opinion on your own boyfriend. That is so hard. That's horrible." Like, she's just like, "Oh, he's probably drunk somewhere." I was like, a lot of times, no, he was not drunk somewhere. He was actually helping you. You know,
And it's
like the
also like it's sad how it's like part of his whole like image, and he plays into that.
yeah. But then at the same time, it's like kind of to protect himself. Like I do understand that he does use alcohol to like stop the spirit, but I don't blame him for that. Like that's the thing. Like he need you gotta do what you gotta do. I like yeah, I don't condone him using it so much to the point where he's blackout drunk. However, you cannot shame someone for choosing that because when there's a legit reason, I don't know. I'm just very like heartbroken for him, and like the fact that Rose has such low opinion on him when all he does is support her and love her. Like, and she doesn't. I was like so mad when Dimitri asked her, "Do you love Adrian?" and she said yes. I was like, "No, you don't."
Like she just said it to make him jealous.
I have a feeling that's it. Or like maybe she was confident that like, yeah, I love him. We had fun. I was like, oh, that's not a good reason, honey. We had fun. Okay. Again. No, so yeah, I'm just very mad at her. She handles romance so poorly. Yeah, Sandy.
Yeah, and what also makes me mad is like this whole scene when Rose is like trying to talk to Adrian about her cheating. Like there's like lines of her like basically like justifying in her head like, oh, I'm a better match for Dimitri, like I should be with Dimitri. But
Yeah.
like, okay, that's not important right now. You literally cheated on him. Then rather than feeling like bad about it, you're like, oh, it's okay. It's like, me and Adrian just weren't meant to be. I should be with Dimitri.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Dimitri too, it's like there were scenes where Dimitri is like, oh, I don't want to, be that person that causes Rose to cheat on Adrian. Like he knows that Rose is in a relationship.
Yeah.
But then like at the very end of the day, he still went along and fucking had sex with Rose. And that made me mad.
Yeah, he was the one who kissed her and everything. Because like she said something that made him broke his what's it called? Restriction? I don't know. But like he just like went for it.
Yeah, he was like kind of holding himself off, but it was just like I just felt like it was just such like a 180 of him like being like very firm about, not doing anything with Rose. And then like as soon as Rose says something and like goes for the kiss, he just kind of, falls along with it.
Yeah. I like what Leah said right here. Basically, like Lissa and Adrian having like the same problems, spirit. And yet she protects Lissa so much. Like she really does. Like she takes the darkness from Lissa like 2 or 3 times in this book. And yet she judges him for using alcohol.
It's like she should know better than anyone what he's going through. Not anyone, but like she should know better.
Yeah. And also I do want to discuss like ask this question. So on page 581, this is like we're like ending or like they're ending the conversation, thank God. Oh yeah, like real quick, I will say Adrian calling her a collateral damage. Sorry about that. Kind of accurate because the way he puts things into perspective is actually very true. Like Rose gets her a happy ending in this. However, she has dragged so many people down. Adrian, Sydney, Eddie a little bit, Jill and Lisa.
Her whole family, yeah, Jill's whole family too. Like
I'm very mad.
I was very mad that she just like I know Sydney was the one who was like, Eric Dragomir was your dad or something like. Oh no, she didn't say that. She was like, that guy's not your dad. And Jill, like, I know. And then Rose literally just like went in and said everything while Emily was like, no, don't. Like obviously like there's a greater cause, but
yeah,
she's so narrow-minded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to point 2 things out. Is it 2? Yeah, okay. So like her finding Jill, all that stuff. Okay, fine. See, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, it's expected mostly because Tatiana was the one who's like, you need to find a legitimate like child of Eric Dragomir. So then Lissa can have a seat at the council. I have a problem with like I forgot what page, but I think it's when Lissa like I think it was after Lissa giving that speech, and then everything erupted into chaos. And then Rose was like, "You know what? Lissa should be queen. I have found Joe. You know what? Instead of getting Joe to like help Lissa so she can have a seat at the council, I'll make her queen." I got mad right there because I was like, hold up. First of all, fuck you. Second of all, she never talked to Lissa about this. She never put her best friend to the side being like, hey, do you want to be queen? Hey, you know, you can technically be queen because you actually have a sister right here. She never asked Lissa any of these questions. Immediately, she's just like, okay, here's Joe. Lissa can definitely be queen now because she has a family member. I was like, but you didn't ask Lissa. Lissa literally in this book said, I don't want to be queen. This whole thing was to delay delay what again? Delay the voting thing. Yeah. So that's why I was so mad at Rose for just being kind of selfish and being like, you know what, Lissa deserves to be queen. I have Joe right here. So I was like, wow, you're horrible. Because being queen is not easy. Being queen at such a young age is not easy. And also being queen when you only have one family member who puts you into that position is not going to be easy. So I'm mad at Rose. Very mad at her for that. I wonder what you guys think regarding that whole thing, because I was literally so angry at her when she decided to just be like, you know what? Yeah, Lissa should be queen. I'll make it happen. I hated her.
I feel like I didn't see it as much of like, oh, Rose using the power, but more of like I think I really bought into what Richelle Mead was trying to go for, which is that like, oh, Lissa is such a great angelic person. She would make a great queen, and like Rose and Jill like would really help her secure that spot. So I it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see. Bruna says Rose throwing her friend who struggles with anxiety and depression on the throne. Yeah,
True.
like kind of throwing her to the wolves, basically. So that's I will say, like, people who have anxiety and depression, like, I'm sure that they're capable of this kind of thing, like being a queen, being a king. The problem is, Rose did this without talking to her friend. Rose threw Lissa straight up to the wolves and not tell Lissa about it, you know? And Lissa takes it in stride. I'm very surprised because if I was Lissa, I would have cussed her out, being like, bitch, what the fuck? I didn't ask for this. I literally did this whole competition to help you. Anyway, they took the queen thing very lightly. Yeah, being a queen is not easy. And also, there's a huge target on your back. Like, the previous queen was murder in her chamber. You know, like again, like you're putting Lissa and Jill in a very dangerous situation. So again, I'm mad at Rose. So there's that. Yeah. So what was I talking about? I was talking about collateral damage because Adrian brought that up. I want to ask this because I actually don't remember this on page 581. This is towards the bottom. Adrian, it says he scoffed, shook his head, and opened the door, and then he says the contract's null and void. By the way, what contract is he talking about?
I don't remember that one. I really don't remember that one, actually.
Okay, so that didn't help me. Because when I read that, I was so shocked and confused. I was like, wait, what contract? Like, was there like a running joke about a contract in the previous books that I don't remember? I really cannot remember this contract. If anyone remembers this contract between Adrian and Rose, please let me know. Because I really don't remember.
Is it like reference to the fact that like Adrian asked Rose to kind of give him a chance after she came back from Russia and everything? Ooh. Maybe that's what he's referencing to.
But that doesn't feel like a contract.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that's like the only thing that I could think of is it has to do with their relationship. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, same. That's why I was like really confused when I was it something about forgetting Dimitri? Yeah, maybe because like it does tie in that whole thing where like he was just like, okay, you have to give me a shot now at being your boyfriend and stuff like that.
But she like, I mean, like even when she was with Adrian, she never really kind of gave him a full chance. She was still completely hung up on Dimitri the whole
Yeah.
time.
That's why I want her to break up with Adrian in the previous book so badly. I was like, my dog might bark because my parents are home. So if he barks, I'll mute my end real quick. Let me see. The whole Adrian speech is really Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very open ended towards the end. You hear that? It's very open ended. So I'm actually excited about that because there's like so much potential. There is a comment regarding Joe. I think it was Abe. I love Abe. Real quick. I love him. Daddy of the year.
I love like Abe and what's her name? Janine.
Yeah, I love their relationship. It's just funny. But Abe made a comment about Joe being like, if something were to happen to Joe, Lissa cannot be a queen anymore. I was like, fuck my life. Yeah. And then also real quick, Emily Mastrano, her own mom, literally said something along the line. I forgot like the exact phrasing, but she literally said, Joe is like the only family member that Lissa has. One person, like, how do I say this? But like that comment being like, Lissa only has Joe. So like again, only
So if
one
Jill's
person.
out of the picture, then she's screwed, essentially.
Yeah, like then Lissa has no power, like that kind of thing. Like again, you're setting like these people up to fail. Rose, you're setting these people up to fail, and
Like you're putting a target on their back.
like yeah, like a huge target on Lissa, and especially Joe because she's like the only one, like the only reason why Lissa can be queen. The only reason why Lissa can be queen, and also the reason why she could have a spot at the council. So yeah, the contract, Rose and I'm just going through the list. So like Rose and Dimitri, that was a headache. I don't care about that. Rose and Adrian,
Ooh.
Adrian deserves better. We all admit to it. Adrian
What are your
so much better.
Sorry.
Okay, you go.
What are your thoughts on the keepers? Because that was like a
Oh
brief
yeah.
thing.
I completely forgot about that community. And when I read it, I'm like, what is this? Like, I completely forgot. But it was really interesting to read about. Like, again, Richelle Mead's like constantly like expanding on the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was so funny, like that whole that one guy who wanted Rose to be with him. That whole thing was really funny.
Yeah. That I was actually I found it very amusing. Like Joshua like having a crush on Rose and just her not leading him on, but just being nice, and then immediately he runs with it, being like, I want you to get married with me. I was like, it's not that deep.
And then Angeline like trying to battle Rose.
Yeah. And then at
funny.
the end, I think at the end she's like, okay, you can marry my brother, I guess. It's like, whoa, you took it too far. I do wonder if we're going to see the keepers again, because like they're being introduced in the very last book of this series. So I do wonder if we will see them again in the next series. I don't remember. Tiffany?
I don't remember either.
It comes back in some way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Richelle Mead does a good job of tying things together. I remember like last time when we read Spiritbound, remember when they broke Victor out of that prison?
Yeah.
There was like spirit users behind some door, but we like never discussed it further. And then I remember after that, we're like, I feel like that's never mentioned again. But it is mentioned again when Lissa goes through the like facing her fears.
Yeah.
She's like scared of being sent there.
Yeah. It's kind of being seen. I know that it was a jail, like a protected jail kind of thing. Is like hard to get out, but also that part, it's just bad. Like, you know, a section for spirit users and how like there was like a lot of them, and like, you know, because they're mentally unstable, they're being sent there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yeah. So like I do understand why Lissa has that fear, that whole thing. And then also it's interesting to see the queen before Tatiana there. I forgot her name, but she's like pretty old and she's very graceful, and she was at Lissa's coronation, I guess. No, her speech. Sorry about that. But she was like, I believe she was the queen before Tatiana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Yeah. So real quick, I found a queen system. Yeah, me too. Very complex, very interesting. It's just like there's so many old laws, and they suck. Like the whole like you need like family. No. Sorry, no. I was thinking of the council thing. Like you need a family member, all that stuff. But with the voting, no. with the nomination process. Like Lissa was able to nominate. Lissa was able to like be one of the people who compete, but it make no sense since at the end we cannot vote for her, but still she can compete. I was like, oh my god, this is such a headache. But
Yeah, and also with the election process, I think it's like once you're like down to the final two, only the people on the council can vote for who ends up being like the reigning
Like, it's
person,
not
right?
democracy.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know, it's just confusing. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, but like I'm pretty sure it was acknowledged that this whole system is very flawed, and it just is because it's so confusing. You know, I have a time I'm just like it does not make sense. So like Rose and I'm going through the list. Sorry, Rose and Adrian. Yeah, Adrian deserves better. Rose suck. Anyway, Rose and Lissa, we kind of talked about it, like how like she straight up did not even ask Lissa, like, "Hey, you want to be queen?" Because you actually have a very good chance now. Now that Jill here, she didn't ask her best friend any of that. She just made it happen. And I feel like Lissa was she mad at the end? I think she was definitely annoyed.
I think she's more upset about finding out that she has a half sister, considering the fact that like she really adored her dad, and she saw her dad as someone really great, I guess, and only to find out like, oh, your dad's actually cheated on your mom, and now you have a half sister. And like at the very end, like the whole tension kind of thing between Jill and Lissa, I thought was really interesting because I didn't expect Lissa to have that reaction. Like I understand her, like kind of like her world turning upside down. Like I understand that, but like to have that kind of reaction towards Jill, I don't know. I felt that was kind of weird.
It's because if you think about it, in Blood Promise, she was like not the nicest to Jill. Because she thought like Jill was interested in Christian, and then like she was the one who told Christian that like Lissa kissed Aaron or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was the cause of their breakup.
I was like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
I was like, that's your sister. I knew because I knew. Actually, I do want to ask for the people who read this book for the first time, were you shocked that Jill is actually the half sister, the illegitimate that the lost child, basically? I cannot say it, illegitimate.
It's
there we go.
Richelle Mead really
The lost
like
Vladimir.
Yeah, the lost Vladimir here. I was I shocked the first time? I'm trying to remember. I really don't remember my reaction to reading this for the first time. I will say I found it very funny that, well, actually, first of all, I was shocked to learn that we find out that Jill is the lost sister around page 400, because I really thought that her reveal would be like at the very end. So when we see her around page 400, I was like, oh, we're not at the end. This is interesting. So and then also the fact that Rose, Dimitri, and Sydney go out of their way. They went through so much just to find Jill. Like I literally said, I was like, wow, all of this just to find Jill. Someone they already know, So
I think it's so, I remember not being surprised, but more of like a, damn, Richelle Mead really ties it all together.
Yeah, because like there were foreshadowing to like Lissa having another sister kind of thing, or like having another sibling. Sorry. Let me see. Leah asks, when will the live show be? Bloodlines be? It'll be at the beginning of August, because like we always spend like the entire month reading one book. So like July will be for Bloodlines, the very first book. So like the next live show will probably be in the beginning of August, to be honest. The information will be on our Twitter soon, like this upcoming week. So look out for that. You see, Lissa's reaction was very intense. The person with the spirit music. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, wait. Is this a thing, Tiffany? Or like I think it's like a nice comparison, but like is it like an actual thing? Spirit users being used as a weapon kind of thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was like, oh, maybe. Okay, I see it. Okay. Okay. Last but not least, actually, okay, this is probably the last topic. Adrian's mom. She's shady as hell. very shady, paying Joe, right? And then like getting rid of that document about Eric Dragomir to make sure that spirit is never a thing so then she can protect her son. It's interesting that her actions, all of it tie up to like protecting Adrian at the end.
I actually really like Daniela.
Here's the thing. So in this book, Blake just casually mentioned that Adrian's mom has an affair with Ambrose. My question is, so I was shocked when I learned that. I was like, oh my God, is this true? And then we never come back to that. Like it was never confirmed or denied. So I'm very confused on whether if this is true. On like Adrian's mom cheating on her husband with Ambrose. What is up with these people cheating? God damn it. So anyone wanting to take a guess if this is true or not? I don't know because I
feel like it probably is true, but I also am like not surprised because we meet Adrian's dad. No, do we?
Yeah,
you're gonna meet.
him.
You've met his dad. He's not the best, and he does not treat Adrian very well. So I'm like not surprised. Yeah, he's awful.
Yeah,
and
like,
you'll see more of him being awful in like Bloodlines.
Yeah, I remember that dinner scene when Rose came over and they had dinner as a family, and like the dad was just like not even polite at all. He was just completely dismissing the situation and bashing on Adrian whenever he got the chance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have like mixed opinions on Adrian's mom. So Leah says I hate her. Daniela is very involved in Adrian's life. Yeah, I see that too. Like he's like 21 and like she's doing so much to protect him, but it's like bribery and like shady things like stealing document from the what's it called? What's Sydney's Alchemist? I was gonna say what's Sydney's people again? The Alchemist. Yeah, so like I don't know, very shady. But then Bruna says Daniela is Mama Bear. I'm with her. I would also pay people out to leave Adrian alone. That's so funny. Oh my God. Oh, I can't stand parents who are much involved in their. I do get that. I do. Now that I'm a grown up, yeah, I really do get that. I like how everyone just okay. So, I'm not sure about like Adrian's mom having sex with Ambrose. I don't know. I was really shocked, but again, later on, it was never confirmed or denied, and I feel like that storyline or like that potential storyline of her like having an affair got dropped. So I don't even know if it's true or not. So. I guess that's about it. And then I was gonna ask, what is a surprising scene, like for like everyone, but especially Sandy and Tiffany? What is like a scene that you read and you were like really shook? You're like, wait, I didn't see this coming. I'm so surprised.
Victor dying.
Oh,
100% Victor dying.
Yeah, it was dark. Yeah, Sandy.
I agree with Victor dying. Also, like just Rose having sex with him.
Yeah, that one too. That was the text I sent them at like midnight.
Yeah. I saw it like this morning. I was like, yeah. Surprisingly, I remember the ending so well. Like basically from Rose feeling guilty about Rose feeling guilty about something, because I remember that, to like the end, I remember that whole thing. Even her having sex with Dimitri, I still remember that. And Tasha being the murderer, yeah. Everything else, I completely forgot. So, like, the most surprising scene for me is definitely Blake casually mentioned that Adrian's mom is having sex with Ambrose. I was like, what? Is this true? Like, I literally, like, I sat there, I stopped the audiobook, and I just sat there and think for a while. And then I reread that page myself because I was listening to the audiobook. I had to be like, is this actually true? So, we will never know.
I think it's so funny that none of us mentioned like Rose getting shot though, or the bond breaking, because I feel like all three of us remember that.
Oh,
but then like, Bruna's
I actually forgot about the bond breaking, but I didn't think to mention that until someone pointed it out. So thank you. Yeah, that was definitely surprising for me.
Ooh.
Oh, good take.
Honestly, I think I see it as like a convenient thing to end the book on. Because that's always been like kind of an issue, kind of a good thing for like Lissa and Rose, but also kind of an issue for their friendship because like Rose sees so much into Lissa's life.
She sees Lissa and Christian doing it.
So there's that. That's weird. So like I don't know if it's like I was not surprised. There we go. But at the same time, I'm just like, of course, this would happen. This is just so convenient to end this book and this series on a high note for Rose. If you think about it, Rose has a lot going on for her at the end. She got so many good shit. Meanwhile, other people are suffering her actions. Sorry about that. So sorry.
And also, like, she's now assigned Lissa's guardian, and I love that Dimitri's assigned Christian's guardian. I feel like that was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, good things are happening for her.
But that makes me think of Agent's comment where he's like, you don't think about the consequence of everyone else. Like you like you got the guy, you're like Lissa's like your best friend's queen, but like literally everyone else has stuff to go through.
Yeah. Again, Jill,
like,
Eddie.
Yeah, like you don't know what's gonna happen to Sydney. We don't know what's gonna happen to Eddie. Like
she left Sydney at the hotel. She was like, I can't break you
out. Yeah.
You can't do anything else though. Anyway.
It's okay. Bloodlines. I'm so excited.
Very, very excited for Bloodlines because I'm like, okay, my favorite or like some of my favorite characters will be in the next series. Can we say who are the main characters in the next series? Is that spoiler?
Do people in the comments want to know?
Yeah, just say yes or no. I don't know. Like, question: is it fine for us to say the main characters of the Bloodline series? It's obvious, like obviously the characters from this series, but they're gonna be like at the forefront. So the last question I have for everyone is: okay, people are saying yes.
Okay,
I'm just gonna wait a little bit. I think we all know. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Basically,
actually,
it's gonna be like basically when like the part that I was talking about, like the foreshadowing, was when Adrian was like, "Oh, you don't know what's gonna happen to other people. Like, what happens to Jill? What happens to Eddie? What happens to Sydney? They are literally the main characters of Bloodlines," which is why I was like, "Damn, Richelle Mead tied it all together."
Yeah, basically, the main characters who are being screwed over by Rose, they're gonna be the main characters of the next series. So of course you have Sydney, Adrian, Eddie. So very excited to see him because I think earlier Leah was like, I think it was Leah, but someone was like, if Eddie won't be in the next series, I'm gonna be devastated. Don't worry, Eddie will be in the next series, and Jill will be in the next series as well. So I'm very, very excited for it.
This is what I've been waiting for. Okay, while I was reading Last Sacrifice, I was just like, I cannot wait for Bloodlines because I cannot be stuck in Rose's head anymore. I can't stand being in her POV.
I am so tired for it. I think that's why I'm just like, I'm very happy that we're coming to an end. But obviously, I really enjoyed Last Sacrifice. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm so over Rose as the main character. I need other people. I need the side characters who are not really at the forefront of this series in this book. I need them to be the main characters of Bloodlines, and they are. So I'm very excited to read Bloodlines. And then last question: what is your favorite scene of this book?
Mine was the Mikhail and Sonia reunion. That was just so cute.
Yeah,
that one is probably at the top, and then probably just like Lissa going through trials, which is really fun to read. Like I really like the one that's like she had to solve the riddles in nature and being able to like do it.
Yeah. I will say I do like the fact that Rose was like, wow, Lissa is much smarter than I give her credit for. Like, wow, you suck. What kind of comment you make about your own best friend like that? Okay. But like I was gonna say that if I were in Lissa situation or like footstep, I would not know shit. Like the whole riddle thing, I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm not that smart. My favorite scene is definitely Sonia and Mikhail reuniting because that was just really nice and wholesome. I don't remember that scene obviously, so when I read it or like when I reread it, I was just really happy because like it's just so beautiful. Like they both just like stop and look at each other, and then they both just crash into each other and just like crying and hugging. I was like, ow, my heart. Oh my god, it was really nice. So I wonder if we're gonna see Sonia and Mikhail in Bloodlines in like the Bloodline series. I don't remember. Tiffany?
They'll come back. They'll come back.
Yeah. You like how anytime I'm like, would this be in the next series? And then I just ask you because I know that you have vivid memories of like Bloodline series. Okay. So I think that's about it for this live show. Everyone's very excited. Eddie, Oh, I love how everyone just loves Eddie, like because he's
He's
such.
great.
I love him so much. I really hope I will continue like to love him in the next series because like it would suck if like my opinion of him is so high, but then when I do read the next series, it will go down. I hope that's not the case. I hope my love for him will continue to grow.
I think everyone in the next series is just so much more tolerable.
I was thinking of that. I was like, I really hope there won't be any messy love triangle. You said there isn't, right?
I don't think so. I don't remember there being. It's not bad.
Okay, I love the scenes with Cindy just arranging everything when they had to run. Yeah, I see it. Sydney really carries like this whole plan with Dimitri and Rose. Like even though she's just like along for the ride, like we need her. That's the thing. And I felt really bad that she was caught. I will say,
Yeah.
really bad that she got in trouble. I love how many characters will come back. Yeah, it's really great to see like the side characters coming back for the next series. So that is it for the live show of Last Sacrifice. In a month, we'll come back for Bloodlines. The first book is Bloodlines by Richelle Mead. Of course, we're gonna start a whole new series, which is very exciting. I'm sure Tiffany is like ecstatic right now. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
10. I'm like so ready. This is what I've been waiting for since like we started the first book.
6 months have passed surprisingly. Just time's gone by so fast. So next thing you know, we're gonna be finished with the Bloodline series, which is really crazy. So that is it for the live show. Thank you to everyone who has come and chat with us. Really appreciate it. We will announce the time and date for the next live show for Bloodlines on Twitter. Like this upcoming week, because like I try to like announce everything the first week of the month. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We're going to have the information soon. And that is it for now. I'm very, very excited for Bloodlines, okay? Yes, Tiffany, let's go. Oh my god, that's so funny.
This is also Sandy's favorite too, so like we're ready.
Oh my god, the Bloodline series is my favorite series. Wow. Okay, goodbye everyone. Bye. Goodbye. Have a great day or a great night. Goodbye.